shock exits, stunning returns, and Ibrox in absolute upheaval. Josh Windass could be coming home. John Souttar's being lured away for pennies, and Haji has officially closed the chapter with a brutal farewell. The summer shake-up is in full swing, contracts torn up, pay disputes exploding, and foreign clubs circling like sharks. And just when you think it's settled, another bombshell drops. Right, buckle up. There's a storm brewing around Ibrox, and it's swirling straight out of sunny Seville. Nicholas Raskin, the midfield dynamo who gave you some of the only moments of pride last season, is now lighting up the radar of Real Betis. That's right, the same Betis who were dismantled 4-1 by Chelsea in the Conference League final, and now want to rebuild their midfield with a bit of Rangers steel. And who's at the top of their list? None other than Raskin. It turns out his agents at Libra Sports have been busy boys offering his name up to Betis alongside some striker from Saint-Etienne. Betis are in a wee bit of a mess. Johnny Cardoso has already bolted for Atletico Madrid, and William Carvalho's halfway on a camel to Qatar. So naturally, they're sniffing around for a replacement, and Pellegrini, the former Man City and West Ham boss, has been left impressed by our Belgian battler. Now here's the kicker. Unlike their other targets from Colombia, Argentina, and Brazil, Raskin doesn't take up a non-EU spot, so he's got a big edge in the race. Add in the fact that he's already a capped international, still just 24, and locked down until 2028, and you can practically hear the Spaniards reaching for their checkbooks. But let's not pretend this would be some fairy tale move. Raskin's been one of the only consistent performers in a season where you were left without silverware and without satisfaction. He's not just a squad player, he's a heartbeat in midfield, a proper Ibrox player. And we paid just under £2 million for him in January 2023, so we'll no doubt turn a tidy profit. But the question isn't just about money. Would cashing in on Raskin now be savvy business for Rangers, or would it be yet another sign that ambition's been sacrificed for a balance sheet? You've heard it now, and it's no just transfer talk. This one's got real legs. Josh Windass, son of Dean, former Ibrox man, and scorer of one or two belters in royal blue, is on the brink of a dramatic return to Rangers. At 31, he's the prospect he once was, but let's be honest, 13 goals and 5 assists across 44 matches last season for Sheffield Wednesday is nothing to sneer at. And here's the beauty. He's just walked out the door at Hillsborough after a contract scrap that's left him a free agent, no transfer fee, nada. That's the kind of deal Rangers need to pounce on if there's any real ambition to overhaul Celtic's 17-point head start from last season. And there's a deeper layer here. Windass didn't leave Wednesday on a handshake and a wave. He was part of a pay dispute, unpaid wages, multiple months, and FIFA rules gave him the out. That's a player who's hungry, who's been mistreated, and who will be looking to prove a point. If that point can be proven in front of a bouncing Copland Road, then all the better. With Dezers possibly heading off and questions surrounding Igamene's future, plus no return for Cerny and an attack that currently relies on Cortés and Matondo, Russell Martin's options are looking thinner than a Highland breeze. Windass brings flexibility, experience, and something you just can't buy: familiarity with Ibrox. He knows what it means to wear that badge. He knows what it takes, and it would be ruthless, efficient business. The type of thing you've begged to see for years. Not faffing about, but moving decisively when the opportunity strikes. If we're serious about stopping the rot and closing that gap on Celtic, then deals like this are how you start. Would bringing Windas back be a clever bit of business, or is it another case of Rangers looking backwards while Celtic keep marching forwards? This one stings a wee bit. Haji the Romanian Prince of Ibrox is gone, and by the looks of it, gone for good. Not only did Rangers let him walk away for nothing after 5 years of service, but now even his own Dar, the legendary Djiga Haji, has come out and shut the door on a return. There was chatter, whispers that he might make his way back to Govan, pull on the shirt again, maybe try to reignite that fire from 2021. But Georgia's made it crystal. That chapter is closed. More and fair play. You can't say the lad didn't give everything, especially when you look at how he bounced back from a horror knee injury that could have ended lesser players. Let's not forget what Haji brought to Ibrox. He played a blinder in that title-winning season under Gerard, 8 goals, 15 assists, and swagger that brought the fans to their feet. For a while, he was the creative spark you prayed for every week. But then came the injury, the setbacks, and the loan move to Spain. He never quite found his rhythm again. Still, 4 goals and 7 assists last season on his return. Not bad at all. And you can see why some thought he deserved one last shot. But with Russell Martin taking the reins and looking to build something fresh, it seems the club had already moved on, quietly without much fuss, and with no effort to keep him before the summer. There's a sadness to it, but there's also the harsh truth of modern football. Sentiment doesn't win trophies, but here's what you got to ask yourself now. Was letting Haji walk away for free a bold decision to clear the decks, or another case of Rangers failing to get value from one of their most gifted players in years? Now here's one you probably didn't expect to be waking up to. John Souttar, arguably Rangers' best defender last season, could be heading out the door. And for what? A measly £850,000 and a Turkish payday? Aye, you read that right. Trabzonspor are circling like seagulls round a chippy, and they're offering Sutar a hefty wage hike to ditch Ibrox for the Super League. And while Russell Martin's out here signing centre-halves left and right, Fernandez, Djiga, and maybe even Conor Coady, it suddenly looks like Soutar's time in Govan could be on the clock. But here's the daft thing. Sutar fits the style Martin wants. Ball playing, composed under pressure, knows the league, and more importantly, knows what it means to pull on the shirt. He was one of the very few who could hold their head high in a season where far too many wilted. He never hid, he never shirked. And now we're talking about punting him off for less than £1 million. That's not ruthless, that's reckless. Michael Smith, his old teammate at Hearts, said it himself. Letting him go would be a shock. And you've got to wonder, is this a move that's genuinely tactical? Or is it just more of the scattergun rebuild you've seen before? One manager comes in, tears it up, tries his thing, and you're left rebuilding again in 12 months' time when the plan falls apart. Let's be clear, Soutar's just a decent centre-back. He's your best one, and to let him go now at 28, just entering his prime, would be baffling to say the least. But here's the fire starter of it all. If Russell Martin sells John Souttar to Turkey for under £1 million before he's even had a proper crack at it under the new boss, is that a show of ruthless progress or the beginning of yet another disaster? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now